Hello, loves. Thank you for tuning in and being present with me again in this moment. It is very special to me. You have no idea. So, I'm going to start off today's video with the purpose mantra. And the purpose mantra states, I am present in every moment. I am confident in who I was created to be. I can only be me. I am a woman of purpose. There is no coincidence about me. I was born for a purpose to live beyond existing. That right there is the purpose mantra. I literally get up every morning and I speak it over myself and into my life. You're more than welcome to take it, put it in your mind, put it in your pocket, carry it with you, and recite it with you throughout the day, in the morning, at night before you go to bed. But it is something that speaks volumes to me, and I hope it does the same for you. All right. So today's topic is being present in your. Today's topic is going to be about being present in your moments, how you decide to be present in your moments, and when you decide to be present in your moments. Okay. A lot of times, those decisions can be a matter of life or death. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right into the story. So I'm going to take you back a few years, okay? We're going to go back to May 2013, okay? May 2013, I got married. And I went on my honeymoon the following month, which was June. So June 2013. So from June 2013 up until about September, October of 2014, I was in a marriage and there was forms of physical abuse going on. And I'm going to give you some of the examples of the forms of physical abuse so that you can understand the weight of the situation. So, the very first time that I experienced the physical abuse with my husband, and I'm just giving you the ending, the actual physical abuse moments, but it was me being picked up and slammed onto the ground. Luckily, I braced my fall, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. There was another moment where the forearm was pressed into my neck and I was pinned against the wall. There were moments of him sitting on top of me and yelling and, in a sense, kind of shaking me. There were, the very last moment was a moment where he actually had a bat that he's always had for a while. He had this bat, and the bat had nails that were stuck in the end of it. Okay, so there was a bat and then nails stuck all in the end of. They were kind of sticking out and spiked out. So in that moment, I was laying in bed, and he had taken a bat and and was at the end of the bed to where I was, had the bat like this, and slowly brought it down right until it rested on my cheek. Okay? That moment was one of the last moments that I decided to take from him. Now, with like I said, all the moments that I just talked about, that was the very end of all the situation. I'm not going to go into all of the stories, but that was the end result of every single situation. And this happened, like I said, from June of 2013 till September, October of 2014. Okay. So a little bit over a year. Now, during that time, I decided not to lash out. Okay. At that moment, I was very connected to God, and I was trying my best to be a godly wife and not give out the same energy that he was giving to me. Okay. So I never called the cops or, hit him back in any of that. But towards the end, things began to change for me. Okay. I became very angry at myself for not lashing out or giving him any real kind of consequence. Like calling the cops or just doing something physical back to him. So I became very mad at myself for not doing that. I also became obviously very angry at him. I had so much anger inside of me that I had thoughts of taking a brick in particular and just bashing his head into the point where he was no longer here on this earth and dead. Okay? I had a moment of sitting at the edge of the bed in the dark, although I didn't have anything to do it with, but I had a thought in my mind to harm myself, to do something physical to myself. That's how much of a low place that I was in. And for anyone who knows me, knows that I'm a very confident person. And that thought is not something that is natural for me, because of because of the place that I was in and what I was enduring. I had that thought. Okay. The other thing was, there was a moment where I had something had happened between him and I called my friend. I was talking to her about it because I was so upset and I was trying to calm myself down. I then got off the phone with her and I started to pray. And I legit started getting angrier and angrier as I prayed. Okay, I'm praying now. I'm praying, trying to connect with God. And I got so much anger in me that I really can't even connect with God. Okay, so anger is just fueling up within me in that moment. And I legit, he's in the living room and the kitchen is connected. I go to the kitchen. I get the biggest knife that I can find. And although I don't go and touch him with it, but I get really close to him and I'm yelling and I'm telling him to get out. Okay? That's how much anger I had inside of me. Okay? So we got going after him with a knife. We got me thinking about harming myself. And we got me having thoughts of pretty much killing him. Okay? You got these three thoughts, okay? So keep those in mind. Now we're going to go back to what the topic is of today. Being present in your moments and being present in your moments and how you decide to show up and when you decide to show up. Okay? Now, all three of those moments that I just talked to you about could have ended in death. That was the end of those. That could have been the end of those moments. Going after him with the knife, I could have killed him in that moment and stabbed him. He could have taken the knife from me, okay, killed me or stabbed me. Having the thought of harming myself, I could have actually done that and been dead. Having the thought of taking a brick and bashing his head open could have ended in him dying and me being in prison. Okay? So all three of those moments that I talked about could have ended in death if I hadn't decided to show up a little differently than I did. Okay? So at the end, at the very end, or after the fact that all those moments had transpired, I made a decision to put him out. Okay? Because I realized that where I was not a good place. It wasn't a good place. And it wasn't going to end well for me for sure, and definitely not for him. So I decided to put him out in those moments. So that was a way that I decided to show up in that moment. Somebody had to go in order for something to begin to get right or get sorted out. Okay. So I'm sharing this with you because I want you to understand when I talk about being present in your moments, why I put it in the purpose mantra, and why I thank you for being present. Every time that I do a video, I thank you for being present in this moment, because our moments are so important. They're so important. And how we decide to show up in those moments, and when we decide to show up in those moments, a lot of times can be life, or it can mean death. And I'm sharing this with you because I understand that life is not easy, and every moment is not not a good moment, and every moment doesn't feel good. But we still have to make a decision to show up in those moments. Our life depends on it. Our purpose depends on it. And every single one of those moments that we experience and we decide to show up with, eventually will come, they all will come together, and they all will create a bigger picture for your life. But you have to make the decision, and I have to make the decision to show up in those moments in order for that bigger picture to be created. And that bigger picture ultimately is your purpose and why you are here on this earth, okay? There is no moment that's in vain, and there's no moment that you were not meant to go through to learn something from it, pick up something from it, take it with you, the good, not the bad. Take it with you and bring it to your big picture moment so that you can shine and operate in that big picture like you are supposed to. Okay? So I'm going to end on that note, but I just want you to know that although every moment is not a feel-good moment or a happy moment, they are still moments that you have to make the decision to show up for. Because in the end, it's going to all be worth it. It's going to all be for your good. It's going to all be for your big picture, which ultimately is your purpose. All right? So until next time, peace out. Don't forget to show up in your moments and to live on purpose.